Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you're probably aware that Nautis Home has been incoming for quite a while now. Now, unfortunately, I haven't been able to show you any content or footage of this for a couple of reasons. I'm going to go through this now. I'm going to show you how you can get access to the game. Excuse my voice, I've been getting over a sinus infection for well over a month now, and that's been part of the problem. So, Nautis Home did send me sort of a review copy, but I wasn't allowed to record or share any of that footage at all. So I didn't record any of it. I was expecting a review key copy so that when the game released in early access, which is how it is now, I could show you some gameplay footage, etc., etc., etc. Unfortunately, they didn't tell me they weren't actually going to give me a key for the full game, so I didn't record any of the beta footage, and I didn't budget to have a monthly subscription going out this time. Then you might think it's only £6 a month. Surely you could deal with that. Well, yeah, and ordinarily I could, but I've just bought. I just invested in a new PC. Christmas is coming up, and obviously the heating and electricity bills are absolutely through the roof. So everything has to be budgeted at the moment, and so I can't do it. So I can't show you any gameplay footage. You can see here I don't have a subscription. Now, to get this home launcher, I'm going to show you now how you do that. There is a Nautis Home Facebook page. You can come in here, you can join this if you like Facebook. I'm not a big Facebook fan, to be honest with you, but there's a bit of information there. But this is the main website. So this is vstepsimulation.com, Nautis-simulator, Nautis-home. You don't have to type it that last bit. If you come here, you can see that if you follow the links, you create a profile, and then you register. And once you've registered, you'll be able to download this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there we go. I already have a login. There we go. So there's a download page here, and you just download the Nautis Home Simulator, like so. And then you just install that like you would any other application that you download, and it'll give you a little startup page, which will bring you to this. You put your email address in, you put your password in, and if you've subscribed, and I'll show you that in a second, then it will give you access to the game. So, so you currently have a free account. You need to activate a subscription to access all that LXP has to offer. So this is where you come in, and you can pay monthly, which is €6, which is about £6, something like that. It's going to be £9 €9 a month. This is an early access price, which I think, I don't know, I've got some problems with that. I'm not keen on monthly subscription system at all, and yeah, I wasn't very keen on this in the first place, and I think if they want to get people in, at the very least, they should provide a demo so people could test out the game, or give a key to somebody like me so that I can showcase what the game can do, the pros and the cons, and then you can make your mind up from there. But there's really not enough information on this website, in my humble opinion, to convert casual players. When I say casual players, I mean, if you're already a maritime sea captain or something, or you're training to become one, then this is perfect for you, because it is very, very realistic, and I wish I'd recorded some of the early beta footage so that I could show you that, but unfortunately, like I say, I was expecting a key and I hadn't budgeted for anything else. Demo. See, it says demo there, see details, but why can't I get access to the demo? Can I get access to the demo? Enroll. Okay, so I've enrolled. So let's go start. If you're completely new to ships and how they work, this module is for you. You can read this short introduction to become familiar with the basic terms. Ships come in many different forms and each has its own layout, engines, equipment for its purpose. We will now only look at the most common examples. The maritime world is filled with jargon and abbreviations. We have tried to list the ones we use and the most common terms in the glossary in the second module of this course. Parts of the ship. So this is their demo. So you've got the bridge wing, the waterline, the propeller. The bridge wing, in case you don't know, is so you can sort of look over the edge, and when you try to come into port and stuff, you don't hit things. So you'd have somebody on the bridge, somebody on the bridge wings, just keeping an eye of the big ship. This is a big ship, obviously. Port, you always pass port to the left. Left has 4 letters in it, port and left. That's how I remember it. You've got the forward, the bow, the deck, the stern and the aft. You've got bow thrusters for moving sideways, basically. You've got the anchor, the bulbous bow. This breaks the water and makes it more streamlined and more fuel efficient. Does it actually say it there? The bridge or wheelhouse is where you control the ship. In freight ships, the bridge is usually at the stern. In passenger ships, it's often near the bow. Moving through water. Obviously, a ship moves through water. Because of this, it behaves very differently than anything that moves on land. You are never completely fixed. A ship always moves, and it can move in all directions. Anyone who has tried to run through the sea can confirm that when you want to move an object through water, you face a lot of resistance. Because of this, ships are slow to start, but once you get them moving, it's actually very difficult to get them to stop. It's because they're so bloody heavy. This is what makes it so difficult, but also interesting to sail a ship. Excuse me. Excuse me again. The propeller is what gets the ship moving. When the propeller starts to spin, it pushes the water back, which moves the ship forward. In the simplest form, you have one fixed propeller at the back of the ship. There are many other systems with multiple propellers rotating in all directions, water jets, etc. A regular propeller is a fixed pitch propeller, which means that the blades have a fixed angle. Some propellers have blades that can rotate, so the angle can be changed, which changes the effect of the propeller. These are controllable pitch propellers, CPP. Left, an FPP, fixed pitch propeller, which is that one, and a CPP, a controllable pitch propeller on the right. So these rotate, which gives you greater bite into the water. Most propellers rotate to the right, clockwise. These are called right-handed propellers, but there are exceptions. A ship does not have a brake like a car, but you can slow down by letting the propeller turn in the opposite direction. It pushes the water to the front and slows down the ship. Excuse me. With the propeller, you can only go backwards and forwards, but sometimes you need to go in another direction. For this, we need the rudder. Do you see those guys, those migrants that were sitting on the back of a rudder, like on an 11-day cross-sea channel journey, and there was a little hole in the top of the rudder, and they were taking turns to sleep in it? Did you see that? That was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Those guys must be so desperate to get out of whatever country they came from. The bow thruster obviously moves the nose of the ship forward and, to the left and the right. The combination of the propeller and the rudder provide a way to steer the ship. The propeller pushes the water backwards and the rudder directs the flow in a certain direction. The rudder is located at the stern, therefore it also has the most influence there. That means that when you start turning, the stern will move first. Bow thruster. For manoeuvring at low speeds, most ships have a thruster to help the ship move. Most common is a bow thruster, which can push the bow to the side. This is convenient because you cannot move the bow sideways with the rudder and the main engine. The thruster is located below the waterline in a tunnel in the hull. A propeller in the middle pushes the water through the tunnel from one side to the other. This moves the bow to the opposite side. The thruster is located, some ships also have a thruster at the stern, which works in the same way, just a different location. On the hull, there are markings to see where the thrusters are located. You see these indicators here. The thruster is inside a tunnel, and therefore its thrust is limited and only effective at low speeds. When you go faster, the water flows too fast for the thruster to have any effect. An azimuth is a propeller mounted to a rotating arm. It can be turned 360 degrees. That means it can provide thrust in every desired direction. An azimuth thruster can be found at the bow as an elaborate bow thruster, but some ships have 2 azimuths in the stern as the main propulsion. This is much more flexible and precise than conventional propulsion. Mooring. If you turn off the engines and don't fasten a ship, it will float away as a result of wind and current. In a harbour or canal, there are bollards on the shore that ships can connect with mooring lines. This way they secure their position, and it's possible to load and unload safely depending on the size of the ship and the weather conditions. You may need a different amount of mooring lines. If your ship is not close to any shore but you want to stay still, you can use one or more anchors. They can be lowered from the ship with an anchor chain if the sea or lake is not too deep and there is a suitable seabed the anchor can get a hold of. This prevents the ship from drifting away. Often it's not the anchor that provides most holding power. Actually, the heavy anchor chain that is attached to the anchor does most of the work. Ships have several ways to communicate with each other. There are visual signals such as flags, shapes and lights, and sound signals with the horn or bell. All ships use radio communication directly to exchange information. The left side of the ship is the port side, and the right side is the starboard side. Your position on the ship does not matter. Port and starboard stay the same. The colour for port is red and the starboard is green. These colours come from the navigation lights on the sides of the ships. These colours are convention in ships and airplanes, even in space. The rationale is that a vessel seen from the starboard side usually has the priority, and the ship that sees the red light must give way. A ship that sees green light can continue. That is quite interesting. So, yeah. Port, being red because that's the colour of port, is on the left. So that's a good way to remember it. Right, types of ships. Some ships in many different shapes and sizes. Each has its own sailing environment and purpose. You can make a distinction based on the type of water ships sail on. Inland vessels stay on rivers and lakes. The water is usually shallower and narrower, and you encounter bridges, locks, and a lot of traffic. Coasts sail both inland waters and on the sea, but they stay close to the shore. They are designed for shorter distances. And then seagoing vessels go from port to port via the sea. These are the large ships designed to sail in ocean conditions, which is where those migrants were sat on the rudder. Just incredible. You can also categorise ships based on their function. Passenger transport such as a ferry, cruise ship or ocean liner. Leisure craft, for example, a speedboat, sailing yacht, motor yacht or rowing boat. Freight ships like an oil tanker, bulk carrier, container ship or platform supply vessel which brings supplies to oil platforms or construction sites. Tugs help ships with limited manoeuvrability to moor in a harbour. Pilot boats bring pilots to ships entering or leaving a harbour. Dredgers maintain enough depth in waterways by removing soil. Construction vessels for pipelines, offshore wind parks, bridges, etc. Emergency vessels respond to fires or other emergency situations. Law enforcement such as the Coast Guard or Water Police. Military vessels for all kinds of operations. Research vessels for maritime studies. So I have sailed this one. I think, sailed that one. And I think that's probably it. No, this one I sailed. This one and this one, I think. I forget now. It was a little while ago. Or make categories by the way they are propelled. Human-powered, such as rowboats, canoes, supboards. Wind-propelled sailboats, some modern ships with special wing-like sails. Steam, mostly historical ships. Diesel, the most common fuel for ships used in large diesel engines. Gas turbines are expensive but lightweight and small propulsion. Nuclear, found on most military ships. Electric, currently only used on small vessels. Maybe it will become more common in the future. You could also divide ships by hull type. Most ships have a single hull, but there are also catamarans, trimans, and pontoons. Other exotic ship types, such as hovercrafts or hydrofoils, have special designs. The shape of the cross-section can be flat-bottomed, V-shaped, round, or anything in between. There are probably many special vessel types that we forgot, but these are the most common ones. So there we go. That is the course overview. So yeah, V-Step NAUTIS home is going to be quite expensive. Port starboard bow, aft stern blast. CPP is controllable pitch propeller. GPS is global positioning system. UTC is coordinated with universal time. Underkeel clearance. CPA closest point of approach. Rotate, latitude, longitude, relative speed, true, nautical mile, knots, head up, north, heading, bearing. Okay. And let's see what happens if I go for the training. What is the waterline of a ship? The line where the hull meets the water surface? Oh, it's not going to tell me if I'm right or not. Da-da. Which colour is associated with the starboard side of the ship? Starboard is green. Where would you find the stern of a ship? At the rear. What is a CPP? Controllable pitch propeller. A ship that sails in rivers and near shore is also called a inland vessel, I think it was. Or was it coaster? Oh god, I may get that one wrong. No, I think it might be coaster, you know. I can't change my answer. That sucks. What does STW mean? Oh. Speed through water. It's got to be. And what speed is a bow thruster most effective? Oh, I don't know. Did you read that? I didn't see that. I'm going to say 5 knots. It's probably 10. What does a tugboat do? It helps mooring large ships. What is the name of the place from where a ship is controlled? It is called a bridge. What do we call a propeller that can rotate 360 degrees? We call it an azimuth. Quiz completed. I got 80 out of 100. Oh, man. I think we know which questions I got wrong. Well, we know one of the questions I got wrong. What was the other question I got wrong? Still, 80 out of 100 is not too bad, I suppose. So that's all you can do in terms of demo, which is, I think, a little restrictive. They should give you one small boat that you can just go and sail on and test out and see if it's right for you. I mean, how can you commit to 6 months subscription, play it once and decide you absolutely hate it? It just seems ridiculous to me. Subscribe in order to enroll. So yeah, I think it's a bit restrictive. I think it's, the thing is, having played the beta, I know the quality that's there. I also know all the stuff that's missing. And had I have known that they weren't going to give me, you know, a key so I could review it for you, I would have made sure I had the funds to like get a month's subscription. But I genuinely haven't got. I don't even have $5.95 in the account to get 1 month. So I'm going to have to wait until next month to do it. But I'm sure if you look around, there are people who have got access to it who, you know, have been able to get a subscription. And unfortunately, I can't do anything more than this. I have emailed them and said, is there any chance you could send me a key? Because I've got no money this month. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But there you go. Bit disappointing that I can't show you any footage at all. I mean, I have been following this for quite a while. I have put a lot of time and effort into promoting this and, you know, drumming up a bit of interest and trying to share as much information as I could. And I just wish they'd told me that they weren't going to hook me up with a review key so I could showcase it to you, and then I would have made accommodation to purchase it. There is one more thing. There's somewhere community platform. Now this does irritate me a little bit. The community platform login details are not the same. So you have to have 2 different. Oh, that's good. We like that very much. Wow. Okay. Well, that's not working at all. I just logged in there 10 minutes ago and it worked fine. Now it doesn't work anymore. That's a good start. Okay. Well, there's not much else I can do, really. This is all I can show you for now. Bit frustrating. I don't think I have access to it any other way, is there? Oh, there we go. So there's the NAUTIS home community as well. Unfortunately, you have to have 2 different login details, and they've got different security password requirements as well. So you're going to have 2 different passwords, which is also quite irritating. There's a few things that they could definitely improve, but I think this is a good place to come. Maybe come in here and say hello to a few people and talk to them. Lots of Scandinavians in here, mostly Scandinavians, which is kind of genuinely what I thought. You know, they're the primary type of people who would be interested in this game. I can assure you. But you know, Brits very much up there on the nautical front. Currently 280 members. So that gives you some idea of how many people are currently logged in and playing the game. And it's such a shame that I can't showcase it to you. But it's a combination of my fault. I should have recorded, some of the beta footage, and their fault for not communicating accurately with me whether or not I was actually going to get sort of a beta early access review key type thing. But anyway, that's at least I've showed you how you can get into it and how you can log in and what's available. And if they come back to me with the review key, then I can start producing some gameplay footage. Otherwise, you have to wait a month. That's pretty much the long and short of it. Thanks for watching, guys. Much appreciate it. Let me know how you get on. If you've got any gameplay footage, please share a link here. It'd be great if we could just showcase the game and what it's capable of. Until next time, take care. Goodbye for now. Let the bass, let the bass, let the bass.